What's up, everybody? How are you today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamisha, also known as Mrs. Coda. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 13 non-clinical jobs that OTs and CODAs can obtain if you are feeling burnt out working in the clinical setting. If this is a topic of interest, I suggest you stay tuned because I'm going to jump into it right now. Okay, guys, so I'm going to jump right into these 13 different non-clinical positions that a OT and a CODA can do for sure. If you are feeling burnt out, you are getting tired of working in the clinic and you're like, I need just something fresh, I need something new, but I'm struggling because I don't know how I can use my degree. This video is definitely for you. And I too am transitioning. I've been transitioning, I should say, now for like the past 3 years. And I'm also going to pretty much let you know what I've been doing on the back end as well. So the first one is pelvic health specialist, or I can say you can transition into a pelvic health therapist. So pelvic health therapists, what they do is they help to tighten muscles and provide exercises for improvement of the pelvic floor. So I know there's probably so much more that they do, but because I want to keep this video very concise, I'm just going to give you a quick snippet and a quick understanding of it. I actually had pelvic floor therapy when I was pregnant. Oftentimes they will work with pregnant women to help them with their Kegels, pre and post birth. They also will work on breathing exercises, relaxation techniques, postural control. Um, so they're just working to keep your pelvic floor strong and those muscles intact and flexible and just doing what it's supposed to overall do. They will also work with anyone that's dealing with urinary difficulties, um, based on that based on that measure. Okay, so that is something that you can do. So that is a first non-clinical position that you can obtain. The second one you can obtain is becoming a health and wellness coach. Okay, let's say if you are really, for example, you are interested in diabetes, okay, and you feel like I have a niche for that, that is something you can do. You can start coaching patients that suffer from diabetes on how you can improve them health wise. Let's just say that you are just overall general wellness. You can also transition into coaching on general wellness, because we as OTs and OTAs are very vast in our holistic approach when it comes to wellness. So this is something you can definitely jump into, learn more about how to develop a remote business around health and wellness. There's so much you can do. Not even just health within health and wellness, you can kind of branch into maybe time management. We do groups, so you can work alongside running groups on different strategies, on different techniques to help within that field of health and wellness. All right. So that's number two. Number three is clinical assessor slash reviewer. These are individuals that would look at documentation. So for example, the documentation that you write when you're working in a clinic has to go to an insurance company, and that insurance company is going to look over your documentation and approve funding for your services. So before they usually do that, they have a reviewer. someone that's usually in the same field as you. So, if you are in the OT field, then your information is going to be reviewed by OTs. And this is a position you could transition to. You can be that person that reviews the documentation, which I feel like therapists would appreciate and like because it takes them outside of the clinic while still keeping them involved in clinical matters. And it's a good work from home position as well. Number four is you can become a therapy recruiter. Now, this is something I looked into and something I was going to do for travel therapy. But, I've been shifted, and I'll explain more in detail, but this is something you can definitely do. There's Med Traveler, there is, there's a couple different ones. There's, I think, Cross Country Traveler. So those are different agencies that's pertaining to travel therapy, but you can definitely be a recruiter. Okay, so you can recruit other therapists to work in the profession as a traveler or just simply a therapy recruiter for just job openings. All right. Number five would be a driver rehabilitation evaluator. So this is probably the only one that's a little bit close to being in the clinic, but not necessarily because you can do drive just specifically driving rehabilitation where seniors might come in or someone that has any kind of disability or impairment, and you can do um, a driving evaluation with them to see if they're appropriate to get behind the wheel, right? I was actually able to shadow a OT doing a driving rehab, which was really cool. And that's kind of like her specialty. And it was like the computer system that they used, and they checked on reaction time and different timings, and making sure that they could see the colors, and that was pretty cool. So that might be something to look into. Um, this seems like it would be more of a OT job, but you could definitely look into it for if you're an OTA. I don't know. Definitely check that out. Do your research. All right. Number six is you can be a virtual rehab administrator. Just like how you have your rehab director in the clinic, for those therapists that are doing their profession virtually, you can actually be a remote virtual admin as well. So instead of being in the clinic, being that director, you can actually look into how you can be the admin that helps to make sure that necessary transactions is happening virtually, remotely, things are moving smoothly, and you can support those that are working remotely versus being in the actual traditional clinic. All right. Number seven is you can be an accessible travel specialist. What is this? So this is someone that sets up travel accommodations for someone with disability. Okay, so it can be someone that might be traveling that might have dementia. How do you set up and accommodate that person to travel? It can be a senior. It can be, like I mentioned, someone with a disability. So you, instead of just being a traditional travel agent, you are actually accommodating accessible travel agent. So you're accommodating those that are in greater need and require support. Okay. Number eight is senior concierge. Okay, so senior concierge, this is a business that you can create even if you're a OTA, which is supporting seniors at home. So you can do senior check-ins, you can do medication check-ins, make sure that they're taking their medications, how they're supposed to be taking it, not necessarily providing medication, but you are a support system to that senior and family. I know that this comes in handy, let's say, when family have to travel and they need someone to kind of check in on their senior. This is something you can do. All right. Number nine is corrective fitness trainer. So this job really is being able to work with individuals that have chronic disabilities or injuries, and you are like an advanced personal trainer. That's probably the best way I can describe it. Is you're working with individuals that are suffering from certain ailments that want to get fit and healthy, but just are struggling and don't know how to do it. And you come in with your specialization of being an OT or OTA, and you work with these people. Now, there is additional training that you should get, just like how physical, I'm sorry, just like how personal trainers get training, you should have additional training. You can actually go to ACE, and they have a nice course that provides that specialized training for that. Number 10 is you can be a dementia caregiver support trainer. Okay, so this is something that you can do remote. This is something that you can actually sit down and have a conversation with family. So you're either sitting down with family or you're sitting down with caregiver of someone that's suffering from dementia, and you are educating them on how to accommodate for this person. You're providing strategies and techniques and support. So this again is another option for business, right? I'm big on entrepreneurship. You guys know that. And this can open that up. I mean, there's also companies that work with families that have dementia. Number 11 is clinical preceptor. Now, you may not be able to work, quote unquote, in academia as a professor, but there is positions that provide clinical preceptor. What is a clinical preceptor? That is someone that goes out into the field with students. So, for example, I will be accepting a position come January of 2024 as a clinical preceptor, where I will be accommodating students into the fieldwork one, where we'll be running groups and working with the youth. So that is just you're not considered like a professor. You probably will fall under the umbrella of maybe an adjunct, we could say, but it's a little bit more hands on instead of being in the classroom. All right. Number 12 is content creator, like myself. I am considered a content creator for the occupational therapy profession. You can do like what I do. You can be on YouTube, you can do a blog, you can do a podcast. That is all providing content. So you guys know, if you don't know, I've been on here since 2016, kind of on and off, but I did start my channel in 2016, and I just provide you guys with hopefully value. So this is something that you can do in time. You can allow it to grow. You can actually make money off of being a content creator, which I personally just love to do. And then lastly, number 13 is instructional designer. So this is also something that I am working on. So you guys know I have studied with the Coda course. Definitely go ahead and check it out if you want to know more about it. But I am in the process of learning how to be an instructional designer. Now, I'm always going to be a coder in heart, but I am transitioning into coderpreneurship. So if you are a coda, if you're OT and you're like, you know what, Tamisha, I really want to get into more entrepreneur work and I want to transition into that. This is something you can definitely look into, being a content creator, and an instructional designer. So, what is an instructional designer? An instructional designer is someone that creates e-learning courses for corporations and businesses. It's just simply helping adult learners learn better, and that is actually what I do. So, I'm just advancing myself and getting more specialized. So when I bring you guys courses and I bring you information, it is even better and easier for you to grasp and learn. And I will be actually updating Study with a Coder for 2024 because there was some NBCOT changes. And also I want to apply what I've learned as an instructional designer into my course. So it's all about advancing and developing yourself. Never feel like you are stuck and you have to be in the clinic, because you guys are going to see as I transition, my channel is going to be growing. I'm going to be doing so much more. I'm going to be opening up to you guys, taking you guys more into my world so you can see that transition of how I've transitioned from being a student to then becoming, transitioning into writing books, creating courses, doing lectures, having a business, a mentorship business that is growing, and seeing people doing well, seeing my students pass their exams. It's just so great. And now going into more coaching and helping coders now starting to develop and become their own bosses and into entrepreneurship. Now, if you are somebody that said, Tamisha, I would love to learn how I can take my profession and my purpose and put it together and create a specialization and expertise, you can go ahead and fill out a form in the description. I will have it there for you under this video. And I would love to talk to you because I will be holding a mini little workshop where I pick your brain and kind of figure out what you want to do and ask you certain questions to see how I can develop a program to assist you. So, like I said, there's so much more coming. I will be doing a lot more in the entrepreneurial side of things, where I will be working with solopreneurs, faith-based solopreneurs that want to uh, like I said, connect their purpose with their expertise in order to create their own course coaching program, just like I did with Study with a Coda. So again, if you are interested in transitioning into entrepreneurship, definitely go ahead and just provide me with your name and your email so I can give you access to the workshop when I do it. All right. And also, I hope that you like this video. I hope that these 13 different non-clinical jobs you will go ahead, do your research, and you'll look into. If you like this channel, if you like my information, if you feel like I bring you value, definitely go ahead and share, like, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, see you later.